Right, yesterday we talked about the number 1. We learned how to write a number 1. It's just a line from the top to bottom. And today I want to show you what the number 1 represents. So the number 1 literally just means one object. So I put one red dot in my fives frame right here. This fives frame just helps us know that there should be 5 items, but I only have 1. It's just a quick way to see an image. So I have one red dot in my fives frame. So I would just write a number that represented that one red dot, and that would be the number 1. It's just a straight line from top to bottom, the number 1. If I were to add another number in that, if I were to add another dot in there, now I don't have one thing, I have 2 things. So 1, 2. So I'm going to write the number 2. This number is harder to write, so I want you to spend a lot more time practicing writing the number 2 using your pencil and your piece you can either use your dry erase marker and your whiteboard, or you can use a piece of paper and a pencil, either one. You're going to write the number 2. So the number 2 is half a heart and then a shoe. So you're going to do half a heart and then a shoe. That's how you write the number 2. Now that is not Miss Mitchell's best handwriting. It's hard to write on the computer screen, but literally it's half a heart and then a shoe. And so 2, the number 2 just means that you have 2 objects. So here is 2 objects, 1, 2. These numbers go together. So I'm going to flip over here to your Go Math Book page. And in this page, it shows you that you have 2 things here. You have 1 purple crayon, and then you have 2 orange crayons. And it wants you to kind of show your thinking behind that. So what can I do to represent that I have 1 crayons using the 5 frames? Well, in the classroom, you would use a counter, just a yellow circle. You have these in your bag that you have from home. You took home with you, a red and yellow circle, and so you would just put these on top of your 5 frame to show how many purple crayons you have, and you have 1 purple crayon. So I'm going to draw it in there because I can't put it on my screen. 1 purple crayon. So I have how many orange crayons? I have 2 orange crayons. So I'm going to draw 2 counters on my orange crayons because I have 2 orange crayons. So I'm going to erase this right now because we're going to move on to the next thing, and I don't want it to be on my same screen. So I'm going to click over here to the next page, get my mouse back. All right, you're just going to practice doing that. Put the number of counters you have for the number of objects. So you have how many notebooks? 1. Then you're going to trace the number. They already wrote it for you. So you have 1 notebook, which means you have 1. The number 1 should be drawn on your page. It's hard to write on this computer screen. All right, and then I have 1, 2 things of tape. So I should have 2 counters to show I have 2 pieces of tape in my 5 frame. And then I'm going to write the number 2. Half a heart and then a shoe. All right, I'm going to erase this again. You don't have to erase yours. Leave yours in your book, but I'm going to have to erase mine. Get my clicker back. And then on the next page, you're going to do the same thing. Show me what the number 1 looks like. Show me what the number 2 looks like. Number 1, number 2. What does it look like in your tens frame? How do you write it? Practice doing those. And then on the next page, on page 16, you're going to solve a problem. It says, count the objects in each set. Circle the set that has 2 objects. Draw to show what you know about the number 1. So on the first one, you're circling the one that has 2. So are you going to circle this one, or are you going to circle this one? On this one, you're going to draw to show what you know about the number 1. So how many is 1? Just draw an object that shows 1 thing. And then you're going to draw to show the number 2. How many is 2 things? So that's what you're doing today. You're going to do pages, let me move this out of my way. You're going to do pages 13 through 16, and it shouldn't take you very long. We did it together on here, so you should be able to walk through it and do it by yourself, practicing writing 1 and 2 in your book. If you have any questions, let me know.